Hello. So, as part of my spring cleaning process, it also involves going through my clothes as I get ready to shift my wardrobe over from the colder weather clothing towards the, slightly warmer spring and possibly a lovely and hot summer. And for the last 2 years, I've started doing this process where I do a reflection on what worked in my wardrobe, what didn't work in terms of creating full outfits that revolve around my lifestyle and my needs and identifying the gaps. Because I think one of the biggest struggles that I had, certainly throughout my 20s and my 30s, was that I wasn't necessarily prioritizing my lifestyle when I was imagining my perfect wardrobe. I'm a seamstress, self-taught seamstress, and a lot of the clothes that I wear, I make myself. The other clothes, I will buy them from secondhand shops or in places like eBay. And there was always this mismatch. I would love making these really glamorous garments, but I didn't have anywhere to wear them. So I think over the last I'd say 3 or 4 years or so, ever since I discovered the Kibbe ID image, and I've really thrown myself into trying to figure this wardrobe thing out. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I'm beginning to find my groove in it. And part of it has been using this free downloadable from this site called Gabriella Aruda. I will link it in the description box down below. It is a free downloadable, but it's a really great tool to have in your style toolbox, particularly if you want to figure out what works, what doesn't work, etc. And in conjunction with this, I also have a page in my bullet journal where I write down my sartorial observations about outfits, how I felt they worked or they didn't work. So say, for instance, if I wore a skirt, but I kept on clinging to my tights or whatever, and sort of remembering, okay, I need to make sure that when I wear this skirt, I wear it with a slip on it, or things like my leather boots were not necessarily comfortable for times that I had to walk for longer periods of time. So maybe I need to think of outfits that are a little bit nicer, but I can wear with my wellies, that sort of thing. So sartorial observations, which I just gather because they're things that I would forget about. At the end of the season, I will look at these and they'll also help to inform filling out the downloadable. So I do find it to be quite useful. So anyway, I thought it would be fun to go through this together. So before I started doing this, also my one of the first key things that I had to learn was that I needed to create a wardrobe that suited my lifestyle. And that was a very hard thing for me to accept, because for the longest time I just wanted, and I was sewing these really fabulous dresses with these really wonderful materials that I enjoyed working with, like cotton tanalon and voile, but very lightweight. And I don't live in a climate where I can wear clothes like that most of the time. Here in England, we are very lucky if we even have 2 full weeks straight of just hot weather where I can wear the strappy, sultry sundresses that I love to wear, that populate a huge chunk of my wardrobe. So one of the really hard things that I had to figure out was, how do I dress in winter, but not in a way that made me feel down? Because there was definitely a big link between how I felt about what I was wearing and my own inner dialogue, etc. So it was one thing that I did realize that, okay, when I'm actually put together nicely, I tend to feel a lot better about myself. And so with winter, I had to figure that out and basically ditch any aspirations of, looking like some of those street style people that you see that just, fancy things and what have you. I have to dress for my lifestyle and for my own condition. I have poor circulation, so I always have to be wearing thermals pretty much in winter. And so, there's a whole background to it. So let's get into this. So I thought that this would be really, really fun to do. So the first question is, how has my style grown in the past year? Okay, so I think that one of the things that has really grown this past year has been an awareness of my lines. So everybody has got what's called a vertical line. And according to Kibbe, this is whether if you've ever met people who've only seen pictures of you, and then they'll go, oh my gosh, I thought you'd be taller. Or, oh wow, I thought you'd be shorter. That is your vertical line. And that's to do with how you actually look. And sometimes you can look at pictures of people side by side, and then you're surprised to find that they're the same height. I think for me, it was when I saw a picture of Katy Perry and Angelina Jolie. I'd always assumed that Angelina Jolie is like this really tall, statuesque person, but actually she's the same height as Katy Perry, and I think they're both about 5'7" or something. So you have a vertical line, and that's something that took me a long time to understand. And you also sort of have a horizontal line, and that's to do with how solid you appear. And so I've got a bit of a better awareness of my lines. So in conjunction with this, I also had what's called a wardrobe analysis package done by a wonderful YouTuber who specializes in styling. Her name was Elyssa, and I'll link her YouTube channel in here before. And so you pay for this service, and she basically gives you a physical and essence analysis. I had this done about, I think, 18 months ago. And it's a lot, and I'm still processing some of the things that are in there, because it's quite an intensive deep dive into overall balance and things like that. So from there, I learned a little bit about my lines and what proportions work best for me. So I think that in that regards, it's allowed me to pick outfits that suit me better than before. And there is a great liberation in knowing what works for you and what doesn't, because I can look at something, appreciate it intellectually, and say, oh no, that's a really great style, but it's not for me. And I'm happy and I'm okay with it. And it's also meant that I don't have to jump onto every trend that comes along. And so that was it. And then the other thing that I actually learned from pairing outfits together was that it was better for me to go with black and black and navy with navy rather than mixing black and navy. Whenever I would look back at pictures or catch a glimpse of myself, it just wasn't working for me having black and navy. And once I started making sure that whenever I've got on my navy blue jeans, I put on my navy top and use my navy shoes with a navy bag, it worked a lot better. So I don't know, it's just, so I'm definitely now on the side of the argument that black never goes with navy. That's something that I picked up this season. I feel as though I finally got my makeup look sorted this year. So this is my basic makeup look. So I've got some eyeliner, mascara. I always make sure that my eyebrows are groomed, and I just do a brow pomade on there, and then I go with a strong lip. I got a color analysis done about 3 years ago using Color Me Beautiful, and that was incredibly life-changing in terms of working towards my style, because I used to just be all over the place in terms of colors, and I couldn't quite understand why there were some things that I would have made with fabrics that I absolutely loved, but I wasn't reaching out for them as often as I thought I should have been. And it turns out that for the most part, those ones were the yellow tones that didn't suit me, because I have a cool undertone. So I have to wear things that are cool. And that was a real light bulb moment for me. And so for my lipstick, I'm always constantly on the lookout for cool undertone lipsticks, and those work really well for me, as well as for my foundation as well. And I just use black mascara, and I use a black eyebrow pomade. Plus I'm also silver haired as well, which really fits in with the cool undertone. So that's something that I feel like I've finally got it sorted out as of last year. Finally, 44 years, I've got a makeup look. So that was good. And then the other thing that has grown in the past year was actually having a good quality set of leather bag and leather shoes. So I discovered Jones's Bootmakers, and they do really good quality leather shoes and leather handbags. And I just, over the last 2 years, I've been building up a set of brown leather boots, a brown leather bag, and then black leather shoes with a black leather bag, and navy leather shoes with a navy leather bag. So 1 year, 3 years ago, I started off with the black bag and shoes. And then 2 years ago, I got the brown bag and shoes. And then this year, I got the navy. And that's just been really wonderful because I've covered most of those basics. And it's taken away some of the worry of thinking, oh, what's going to work with that? It's just easy. I look easily put together. So that was an awesome thing. Okay, so question number 2 is, what new information did I acquire this year that really helped me to improve my style? So this past year, we went to Italy for our summer holiday, and we were away for about 3 whole weeks, and it was wonderful. It was incredible. And I was completely submerged in the Italian culture and just seeing how Italian women dress, and it really made such a big impression on me. And I really came away from that wanting to learn more about that effortless Italian chic style. And that has been informing a lot of my sewing plans, a lot of my plans about thinking of how to build my wardrobe going forward. And I also found a channel that has really great information. It's called Silvana Patrick. And one of the greatest takeaways that I got from it is about spend time thinking about the outfit. So before, I never used to think about the outfit. I just kind of and I just throw things on myself, and then I'd be like, oh, this didn't, and then, some things just wouldn't work together. But now what I'll do is whenever I've worn an outfit, I'll think about it and I'll think, okay, did the earrings go with it? Did the watch go with it? That sort of thing. And through that iterative process, I've gotten to a point where I have several outfits now that I can create head to toe looks that I know work, because, I realized that, that time that I wore the roll neck top that's a bit thick, it didn't work with dangly earrings because the earrings kept on catching and it was quite uncomfortable. And so it worked better with the smaller pearl earrings, little things like that. And the more I've tried to do it, at first I thought, it's so silly just constantly thinking about this. But actually it isn't constant. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes and the more natural it becomes. So I'll also link her channel in the box down below. So I thought that was quite good. And then the other thing that I got from Silvana Patrick was about not dressing for a fantasy life, but just dressing to your lifestyle, figuring out what you need. So for me, one of the things that I had to do was really sit down and think about my lifestyle. And I realized that I need outfits for the gym. I need outfits for gardening because gardening is my other love. And I need outfits for going to church and for doing all the volunteer stuff that I do, and outfits for being around the house. I don't go to any glamorous balls or anything like that require me to have a lot of glamorous dresses, despite the fact that I love them. But that was good. It was very liberating to come to that conclusion. So that was the new information that I think that I got this year that really made a difference. And then what might I want to learn or focus on in 2024? So for this coming season, I want to focus more on head to toe ensembles, just being able to have some backup outfits that I know work. So if I have to go for picnic in the lunch with my daughter's school class, I've got an outfit that can do that. And I don't have to think about it. I just know that I've got that outfit. If I need to go for parents' evening, or I've got the dreaded call from school saying you need to come in, something's happened, I've got that sorted. And by something, I don't mean like they've hurt themselves, more like, they've said some potty words at school and we need to have a chat with you. And so I need to go in for that. Not that it happens a lot, but it's good to always have that. And then the other thing that I realized I needed was more hairstyle options as part of this whole thinking about head to toe looks and trying to find more hairstyle options that suit me. So I've been working on that. My natural preference is to always bind up my hair, as I generally sometimes don't necessarily like feeling hair around my face all the time. So I'm trying to figure out how I can add more volume to my hair without having the constant irritation of having hair against me. So I otherwise I tend to go for the braided looks, but I want to add more to that. Okay, and then there's a section where you have to describe some of your favorite outfits, which I found very useful because then it gives you an idea of, oh, what is it that you like? What is it that you don't like? So for me, it's the gray black sweater dress with tights, pink earrings, and double French braid hair, which is what I'm actually wearing. So this is my sweater dress, which I made, and I love this dress so much. It has pockets. The fabric has gone dull a little bit, but when I first made it, this black was as deep a black as that, and it was flocked, and it was really quite pow. And it's got these sleeves that go a little bit poofy and down there. And I'll wear this normally with my tights and my boots. I would normally be having these dangly pink earrings, but I'm not wearing them today because I was wearing them yesterday and I didn't want to wear them today. So that's one of my favorite winter outfits that I really enjoyed. And I would like to recreate more of this. What will I be leaving behind in 2023? So one of the things that didn't work for me was I had this really baggy sweater dress. It was really beautiful print. It had some nice pink splodges on it, but it was quite unstructured, as in it didn't have any shaping even around the bust. So looking at this one, though it is a sweater dress, it does have some shaping around the bust, and it does have some slight shaping where it goes in a little bit at the waist and then it comes out. And that other sweat dress, every time I wore it, even though I loved the print, each time I would catch a glimpse of myself as I walked past, I just thought, ugh. You know, when you just, a little bit. And the idea with building your wardrobe is you want to remove those moments and just try and work towards things that you can look at and just be like, good one on you. So that's unconstructed sweater dresses is something that I'm leaving in the past. So that particular sweater dress, I'm just going to convert it into a sweater. So it currently goes all the way down, and I'm just going to cut it and put a band on it so that it's just a sweater that I can wear with jeans because I do like the print on it. And then what habits can I build around improving my style in 2024? So for me, this coming season is about grooming my hair. I can be very lazy when it comes to my hair. My hair is very thick, which is why I tend to keep it braided for the most part, because it's very thick and I can be quite lazy. So that's one thing that I want to work on more. And whenever I see elegant women out there, their hair is always on point. It always looks well groomed. And that is what I want from my hair. It might involve me having to go to a salon, because that's something that I haven't done in decades, because I had a horrible experience the last time I went to a salon, but I may need to work through that, my issues around salons, and actually just try and do that again. But I'm not committing to that yet. Okay. And then it says, if you felt completely free, what styles might you explore or incorporate? And I have on here more feminine looks, particularly for winter. So I think in spring and summer, my wardrobe is really feminine, and I love that feminine elegance. I love the old movies, the Catherine Hepburns, the Debbie Reynolds, and just that really old-fashioned. It's like, I love that so much. And it's very hard to do that in winter. And that's what I would love to be able to do more of in winter. I don't know how it's going to be, but, it's good to have a goal, And then it says, how might you find more joy in your style? So I think that for me, it's about really bright earrings in winter. So I have these pink earrings that I absolutely love. And they had begun to lose their color, and you were seeing the white underneath them. And I ended up getting my daughters to use nail varnish to bring them back to life. And it's just been wonderful. So I want to add more bright color earrings to my winter wardrobe. Looks like really nice and bright colors. And then it says here, what shopping habits do you want to build next year? What shopping habits do you want to leave behind? So in terms of building, I want to get better at buying high quality garments that last. So I bought my first cashmere jumper this past winter season. I got it on eBay, and oh my gosh, why did it take me so long? I don't know why it took me so long. It is just wonderful. I got a navy and stripe one. And I love that jumper. It is so warm, it is so cozy, and it is so stylish and so easily elegant. Yeah, I love it. And I was wearing it quite a lot in winter. And I know that if I look after it, it will last me, probably until I keel over, as long as I look after it. So that's what I want to learn how to do, to buy high quality stuff, because I've always been a bit of a cheapskate. That's a very uncomfortable truth for me. I can take frugality too far, particularly when it comes to spending on me. I will buy really good quality stuff for my family, but when it comes to me, I'm always like, no, it shouldn't be. It has to be the cheapest, whatever. And I think that's something that I do need to work on. Don't think it's particularly healthy. So I want to work on buying good quality stuff that does last. And that also translates to my sewing, in terms of actually being mindful and thoughtful about the projects that I'm going to sew, and using really good quality fabric that's going to last me a long time. So, and obviously to leave, I've got cheapskating. Basically, I need to ditch the cheapskating, the cheapskating habit. So if I need to get some tights, pay a little bit extra to get nicer, good quality tights that I can look after, that will last longer, rather than the Primark ties that one wash and they're gone, even though they're really cheap. Speaking from experience. If you could have one fashion wish, what would it be? And as I said, this is so much fun to do. I did this after I'd had a nice hot bath with a bath bomb, and I was just luxuriating in my pajamas. And yeah, it's a fun thing. So my one fashion wish is cashmere jumpers for all occasions, because I am so converted on cashmere jumpers. I just, on cashmere in general, it's such a lovely love. I can't believe it's taken me this long to actually try wearing cashmere. And anyway, I love it. So that would be my one fashion wish: cashmere jumpers, cardigans, sweater dresses for all occasions. And then, how might you grant that wish in 2024? Is there a plan you can make? So my plan is to save money for that, and to buy during the sales rather than buying them full price. So I'll be keeping an eye on those. And then, what do I need more of in my style? And I have down, what I wrote down was that consistency. I need to keep going even when I don't feel like it. So that is definitely been one of my weaknesses, not having the discipline to continue at it all the time, and just being like, I just don't feel like it, so I'm not going to bother. I'll just be, when actually, let me tell you a story. So a couple of days ago, I woke up really excited to go outside to do some gardening stuff, and it was raining, like chucking it down, raining. And I maintained my awesome. I was like, okay, no, within an hour it will stop raining. But it didn't. It still kept on chucking it down. And so my mood just started taking a dip. It was so, ugh. And because I'd been planning on going outside into the garden, I hadn't showered straight away. I'd put on my gardening clothes, ready to go outside, get dirty, get sweaty, then come back in, shower, and then get dressed. But because I didn't end up going outside and I kept myself busy doing other bits and bobs whilst I was waiting for the rain to go. And then after a couple of hours, I realized that the rain wasn't going to go. And I was just a bit, just feeling really like unmotivated and really sluggish and bored. And then I was like, oh, what should I do? Should I go clean up the sewing room? Should I start a sewing project? Because sometimes that sort of cheers me up and all of that. And I half-heartedly started doing it, but it wasn't doing anything for me. And then it suddenly hit me. I was like, hang on, I haven't had my shower and I'm not dressed. I'm just, I've still got this sleepy energy effectively because I didn't go outside to get rid of it. And so it was probably about 11 or 11:30 that I then went in to have a shower. And by then there was no more hot water because the kids had used all hot water. And I had a shower and then I got dressed and put my makeup on, brushed my hair and tied it up. And I felt better. I felt more focused. I felt it was like as if I'd gone through the ritual of waking up my body. And so just having that consistency of actually doing it and not actually dropping it, because I know that it is good for me. That is something that I need to do more of rather than just thinking that I'm being frivolous, because actually it isn't. When I'm putting my best foot forward for my family, the most important people in my life, it makes me feel good and I'm better. And anyway, I managed to salvage the rest of the day because I just felt so much better about myself and, good. So anyway, the consistency thing is what I think is probably really important for me to work on this year. Okay, and then you have a section where you get to describe your favorite and your least favorite outfits or style elements. And so my favorites is the eye-cut print sweater, and I've got the navy striped cashmere jumper on here. And then my style no-nos are unshapely sweater dresses, like just without any shaping at all, and untidy hair. I think I did too many days of untidy, ungroomed hair that I was just hiding under a beanie hat. So I really want to get rid of that. In the same way that I got rid of bushy, untidy eyebrows, which is something that I got from my style analysis package. One of the things she said was, keep your eyebrow groomed. And that's been so beneficial for me. And yeah, so it's a really great reflection on this. And so because of this, there are things that I have removed from my wardrobe and I've just, donated. Some of them I'm just going to hack them into something that is more wearable. And because I've been doing this, it's been an iterative process. It's been getting better. And because of this, I've been able to work on finally getting a makeup look and a hand look that works for me, like just keeping my nails trimmed and groomed, and I don't actually have to paint them or anything like that, just making them look neat. A few years ago, it's so silly. I didn't know that. Sometimes I just have like these long, unsightly nails with bits of black because I do work in the garden. But now I just take the time to always make sure that my nails are always short. And so my hands are always looking relatively groomed. Yeah, I don't do nail varnish. I'd love to. At some point in the future, I probably will have more time to look after my nails better. But at least I've got a decent baseline level. And it's been a lot of fun. And I've really enjoyed working on having some semblance of a style through the color analysis, through learning more about Kibbe, and through doing exercises like this. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of freedom actually in having a good wardrobe. It makes life so much easier because I can keep my bedroom tidier. There used to be a time where my bedroom just could not be tidy because I just had so many clothes because I was just all over the place. And sometimes I'd wake up in the morning, I'd put something on, it doesn't work, and I'd chuck it to the side, grab something else, that. And the illusion of choice can be so damaging, because I don't think you're meant to have an infinite choice of things, which is what I used to approach my wardrobe as. I just used to think, oh, I should have everything should be there. But actually, no, you don't have to have that. You just have to have the things that are good, that suit you, that work for you, and that the colors do really well for you, because I think the colors is so important as well. And, you find that when you have that, there's no clutter in there. All that space that was taken up with trying to think, should I wear this dress? Should I wear this dress? Should I wear this dress? It's gone. And now, because I keep to my colors, everything in my wardrobe goes together. There isn't anything that doesn't go now, because everything is within my color, which is the Cool Clear by Color Me Beautiful. So that's what I have today. Do go check out this the websites and the creators that I've mentioned. They are really good. I have to go now and continue with going through my clothes, getting them ready for, hopefully, spring. It's not showing any signs of coming yet, but I am optimistic. Thank you so much for coming. Until I see you next time, I wish you blue skies, health, and happiness. Bye.